Okay, so this is the first episode of Fife Cycle Speedway's Last Lap, and today we're speaking to our El Capitan, Harry Langdale. How you doing, Harry?
Yeah, not bad.
What you been up to? Well, firstly, I should say congratulations on getting your 2-1.
Thank you very much. I am quite shocked as well about it all.
What's your plans now?
I think I'm going to try and do a Masters at Dundee again. So that'll be in spatial planning.
Very good.
Another year.
So you'll still be able to race for Fife?
Yeah, I should be able to. I mean, if that's even if cycling started by then, to be honest.
So, few questions for you. You've been, obviously, I've known you since, what, about 2011?
Yeah, but it could be earlier than that, I think, something like that.
So how did you get involved in Speedway?
I think it was a friend invited me along in about first or second year to the high school team, and then went along for a lesson on I think it was a Monday evening, and then after that it was pretty much just stuck in with it for the next 6 years at high school, and then tried to race throughout uni.
And have you enjoyed it? Well, obviously.
Well, I'm still here, so yeah. I've enjoyed it a lot. It's been good.
Well, you've been one of the most inspirational figures for Fife Cycle Speedway going through the years. Remember the team we had going through the Jack Kane Centre and racing in Inverkeithing and Liberton High School it was.
I've seen it kind of go through all the stages from what was originally just a set of cones in a sports hall, and then how we got to try other tracks, and then eventually get our own one. So it has been quite good to see how we've sort of progressed in several years quite quickly, I would have said.
I found, you remember the old tops that we had for the Queen Anne High School team, Dunfermline Devils?
Oh, that was a while ago.
We found one of them yesterday when I was in work.
Printed onto a cheap white t-shirt.
That shows you how long ago or how far we've come now that we're
I thought you were going to say the yellow Specsavers ones, but that was after those. I forgot about those ones.
I've still got them.
Yeah, I think I nicked one.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I'll have that back then.
Mementos.
So are you into cycling in general, or is it just mainly the speedway part of it?
No, I've kind of always been cycling a bit. I used to cycle to school, primary school, and that was just because it was easier. And then carried on throughout high school, cycling with mates, doing a bit of mountain biking. And I started getting into a bit of road now, but that's more for fitness, to be honest. But I've always kind of cycled just to have something to do, really.
And what is it you're enjoying about cycling or the cycle speedway aspect of it?
It's nice having something that's a bit different. It's quite good to get away from. If I come down from uni and come down for once a week, it's quite good to get away from it. And I do enjoy the competing aspect of it. I would say I'm quite competitive. So having it as a team event now, rather than at high school, which was more individual, it's kind of added a different aspect to it, I would say.
That's one thing. It reminded me when we were in the Jack Kane Centre, you stormed off in a big huff because you didn't get a maximum. We became Scottish champions and everything, but because you didn't get a maximum.
I think for the record, I was about 13 or 14 at this point.
I know, but it just showed that winning mentality, which was great and inspired the rest of the team.
I think it was always kind of trying to aim for that maximum points, and you have put quite a lot through, and then it's always kind of gutting if someone just sneaks past you at the end. It was a bit of a nightmare to coach, I imagine, back then. Slightly better now, I would hope.
So what do you enjoy about the cycle speedway in itself, especially where we're at now with Fife, and tell us about your debut. Do you remember your debut for Fife as well?
Oh, my debut. Was that against Hull? Did they come to us?
That was the league match, yeah.
Oh, the league. Oh, my debut for Speedway. For Fife or Queen Anne, are you thinking?
Well, both really. Could talk about both.
For Queen Anne, well, our training used to on a Monday because there's quite a few of us. Probably that was when my debut of actually racing there happened, and that was probably just I think four teenagers kind of racing in the hall. But I think racing for Queen Anne actually in the racing would have been the Scottish schools or maybe a friendly against one of the local high schools. I can't really remember. There's been quite a lot of races since then.
We had a few rivalries with Madras College.
Yeah, I think because we were kind of up there. There's a few other schools that were close, but we were kind of always just on top. And then out of nowhere, this other high school came along and knocked us off straight away. Which we did try and fight back and obviously beat them, but there were several very good riders in there, and I think one of them it took 2 years before someone could finally beat him. That was definitely, I mean, they were going to beat us in the league, but that was a small victory at least at some point of it.
Well, when you consider from that schools programme, you've got the likes of you, Jake Ferguson, James Keenlyside, and then from Madras you've got Vaz Hill, Lewis Alsop, Jamie Penny. You know, and it's been great to see you guys progress through the sport and then obviously come together to race for Fife as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think when they first joined Fife, we were all still a bit didn't really want to race with them. They were still, but I mean, after like 4 years of racing together for Fife now, everyone's, we're a full functioning team, and it is great to be racing with these guys.
There's a good team spirit in the team, isn't there?
Yeah, I think when you've gone through winning the season or just losing the season to another team, you've kind of all been through it, especially when you're, driving sometimes 8 hours in minibus in one day, if not more. You kind of have to get on with them.
Yeah. What's been your, maybe best memories from the early days, with the schools and with Fife as well?
Early days, I enjoyed racing indoors. It didn't come down so much to how fast it was more about technique, line choice. So I definitely enjoyed racing indoors. And then moving to outdoors was quite a big step up. It was a much bigger track. You had to be a much more powerful rider, I felt. So initially, I don't know if I probably still do prefer indoors. I find it's a bit more of a technical challenge, and I do enjoy that. That was probably what I enjoyed most when I first joined it, and the early days. But then once we did get the track in, obviously you do progress, and it's not quite scary racing outdoors anymore. So I definitely enjoyed the indoor aspect of it as the initial sort of what got me into the sport.
I mean, Fife's only been going for, was it 3 years now? What's been who's been your toughest opponent, favourite track, least favourite track?
Toughest opponent, I mean, as a club, it would be A&T from Manchester. They are running a very good system, and they've got many good riders there. Individual opponent, Andy McDougall from Glasgow. He's quite horrible to race against, I would say, just because he's all over the track. He's covering every angle while three other people are trying to get past him, and it's still not happening. Favorite away track, I like Hull, but I think that's probably just because it's slightly smaller, so I don't have to cycle as much.
When you're not hitting the curb.
Going into the fence. Yeah, when I'm not going into a fence, losing a match. Yeah, probably I do enjoy racing the Glasgow guys, but I think that's because we sort of known them for quite a long time, and having another Scottish team to race against, I think we do all get on, and there is quite a good relationship with them. It's not quite as competitive as with some other teams. It's actually a nice sort of event to be with them at.
Yeah, it's a good atmosphere and everything.
Yeah,
that's what's good about the sport as well, is that everybody kind of gets on with each other, don't they?
Yeah, it's good. It is. I think because it's not the biggest sport, you're going to meet the same people quite often. You might as well just be nice and get along. And it is an enjoyable sport to do with these guys.
What would you like to achieve in the sport? And is there anything that you would change about it? Now, coming in with fresh eyes, we've only been going for 3 years.
I mean, from a personal racing point of view, I'd like to probably improve my fitness and get my average up a bit and be able to challenge a bit more in the Division 2 races against some of, the people who are almost at a Division 1 level. I feel like sometimes I'm not quite there with the fitness. And then from another point of view, I'd probably like to get my level 3 coaching, British cycling coaching, so that I can focus in more on cycle speedway rather than just a sort of generic ability to coach. Because then I'll be able to actually help out a bit more with the club and kind of hopefully improve us a little bit. If I was to change anything, I think it's just the fact that we're racing a lot of teams down in England and they're very far away. And it does seem like a lot of leagues are sort of set up to kind of favour and work around the teams down in England. We are covering massive distances to get down there on a regular basis. So something in a more neutral kind of venue would help out a little bit, because it is difficult to get the same amount of races and competing in when you're going down to Hull within one day, racing them for 45 minutes and then coming back all the way again. But that's quite a big change, I would say.
We need to start growing the sport more up here then.
We do. 3 teams though now, instead of just 2. And then the high schools are getting there as well.
And we're the best team out of the 3.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
We need to go for that other league title now.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Division 2 pretty much dialed in. So I think once we can push into Division 1 and start making, when there is a season to actually do that, hopefully we'll be able to really compete with these guys.
I think that's what's been frustrating this year with everything that's been happening, because we made such a good start against Stockport. Just losing. Yeah. But it was encouraging the way everybody was racing that day.
Yeah, I think if we do get the season, I don't know if there will be one actually this year, but we can at least still get some races hopefully towards the end of it, and that will improve us. But it just gives us another chance to fully hit Division 1 properly. We'll have more people up for it, and hopefully we'll have more people racing by that point as well.
So, last question from our captain. What would you say to anybody that's never seen cycle speedway before, and how would you try and encourage them into the sport?
It's quite a hard one. I'd sort of describe it as like a short track cycling, obviously without brakes or gears, but it's honestly a brilliant experience. Not just racing someone against the clock, you're physically racing the person beside you. And just that is a totally different experience because of that. And it will be pretty scary to start with at first, but once you're truly getting into the sport, it is something brilliant to be part of.
Okay. Well, thanks for being the first person on Last Lap. And
no worries. Thanks for having me.
Hopefully we'll get the season up and running soon. If not, we'll aim to win Division 1 and 2 next year.
No, we will. Don't worry.
Cheers, Harry. Thank you.
Grand. No worries.